Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Monkey in the Morning. I'm your host, the Ranting Monkey. He's Jack. Say hello, Jack.
Hi, everybody.
Jack, how the hell are you, my friend?
Oh, I'm all right. How are you?
I want to apologize to everyone for not letting you know I wasn't doing a show last night. I try to let people know on Twitter, and I couldn't decide. I had a rough day and a half continuing, but we're not going to talk about it. I'm good. You know, my mentally state is good. So I do apologize. My mentally state, yeah. What?
I don't know what a mentally state
Don't
is.
act like I don't make up words all the fucking time.
Fair enough. That's a solid point. I can't dispute.
Thank you. You know damn good and well what I was trying to get out of my mouth wrongly. Anyway, but I'm you know happy, so that's a good thing. I'm annoyed right now.
Oh.
So I just watched that stupid fucking interview.
Is that what that was?
Good God.
Did it affect your mentally state?
It did. I'm actually surprised we could hear Tim Pool with his head so far up Crowder's ass.
Look, he had to massage that prostate somehow. I'm a rogue. If I heard one more goddamn D&D analogy, I was going to snap.
Hang on. Before we begin, for those of you who didn't watch it, Tim Pool does a D&D analogy where he calls himself a rogue. And I laughed so fucking hard I hurt myself. You are the most milquetoast motherfucker, and we're like the rogues. They're the he said they're the paladins over there at Daily Wire, and we're the rogues.
Oh, is that what that is? Tim's ego is
like
something.
You played D&D before, right, Tim?
Is that we're jumping on the D&D bandwagon? Like
yes.
5 years late? Is that what's going on here?
No, tonight we're just going to make all the D&D references like he did because it makes us cool.
Oh, okay. Let me get my D20 out then. Oh, natural 20. I win.
For the record, I did play first edition. That's what I cut my teeth on. So I have the cred to talk about D&D. I don't play anymore because, well, one, I live in the middle of nowhere. I play my D&D on computer games now. That's how I roll. Oh, good to hear that the alerts are going off at least partially tonight, Jack. It's always good when the show is working how it's supposed to.
Yeah, that's a trick because it's going to go off once or twice, and then you'll never hear it again the rest of the night. And people will be like, "Check your fucking Streamlabs, dude," and you'll be like, "Oh my god."
Evolved Potato, thank you so very much. We understand, Monkey. You just breathed wrong or something, so of course you couldn't stream. This is a true story. I think we were still talking. I coughed the other night and was in so much pain I had to stop for a couple minutes. My lower back has been a bitch to me lately, dude. And it comes and goes. Like right now, it's okay, but 2 nights ago it was being a dick. Anyhow, so yeah, we have Rogue Tim Pool, the rogue who refused to ask any actual hard questions. All right, there's a couple of questions that should have been asked. Pretty much definitely top of the show. Did you make a counteroffer? Because that's a big one. The original thing from Boring said that, hey, we offered him $12.5 million a year, and they came back with 30. And they kind of get to it, but they never get to that $30 million. Instead, the first time Stevens asked about it, he goes to answer the question. And he starts to say that his lawyer, and then he stops and he changes the subject. Well, my lawyer, and then he changes the subject. And they never get back to it. In fact, they completely change the subject off of that.
Yeah.
It comes up again a little bit later, and Stephen kind of offhandedly says that I'm sure my lawyer made an offer. And then right as the show's getting ready to end, it gets brought up again. And he's like, well, yeah, my lawyer made an offer. But he never says the dollar amount. He says
every time it's a short answer like that. It's kind of nebulous, and then they just move on to something else completely.
Well, in the final answer, like, but it wasn't about that. It wasn't about that. Sure, okay, yeah, you just asked for almost 3 times the amount, but it had nothing to do with money. I got you. Look, I think $12.5 million was underselling Steven. he should have at least been getting 20. He probably should have gotten the 30 he was asking for if all of the other numbers we're hearing are true. And he should have fought for it. That's what negotiations are, Jack.
Yes. Oh, well, that's how back and forths go.
Yeah. Now, Boring said that he told Steven there's no way they could have done 30. I think if they sat down and looked through the numbers, they probably could have done 30. Steven probably would have brought in at least $40 million for Daily Wire. That leaves them with $10 million a year. That's not a bad cut. That's not a bad cut when he's doing all the work, literally all the work, because he's producing all his own stuff.
Yeah, but he's not required to do that because remember, most of the other hosts have Daily Wire doing the production.
And we'll probably come back to that. Well, let's jump on it now. One of the things Steven says repeatedly in here is that everybody has the same contract. Boring literally said, we had to make a contract for Steven because he's Steven. He's not like everybody else. In fact, that's part of the contract is that he would be the one producing it all, which they put in there specifically for him. And then Steven says, well, even Candace said, she had that in her contract. She recognized it in her contract. Well, Brett Cooper, who I don't remember if we've talked about her online. She's the youngest person over there at Daily Wire. Recently been on on their platform. She got one of the what they call it, wage slave deals.
Yeah.
And then when she grew, they came to her while she was still under contract and like, hey, you're making a lot more money. We want to give you more money. And she says she has nothing like that in her contract, which I believe, because if you look at the differences, I don't know how much you watch Brett Cooper. I've seen some of her stuff.
I hadn't heard of her until this whole drama.
I've seen her in little clips that pop up on Twitter. She's not edgy. She's a little bit funny and but she's not edgy.
Oh, she's a chick. She's not very funny. They don't have a lot of original thoughts.
Candace has been kicked off platforms before. Steven has been kicked off platforms before. My guess would be if you kind of have a reputation for this, then that's in the clause, or those clauses are in there. Real quick, Pumpkin Hawk, thank you. Tim said one of the reasons he believes Crowder because he's rich. Daily Wire is rich. They supposedly sold out to big tech. Such a dumb point. That is true. That's like one of the first things. It's like in the first, 15, 20 minutes. I believe you because you're rich. And Steve like, I'm not as rich as you think I am. Sure. But you're rich enough to walk away from a $50 million deal because you think you can make more money on your own.
Yeah.
Now,
along with, sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead. You first.
No, the whole thing. No, I'm going to let you go, and I'll interject these points later as we go.
All right. The second
your
question,
thoughts are going to be way more organized than mine.
The second question, because the first one is the $30 million. The second question, which by the way does not get asked on the live show, maybe they're asking it behind the paywall right now.
Irony.
But what about the website? If this wasn't a setup and everything, why do you have this website a month before you make that call?
The call you surreptitiously recorded of your supposed friend. Yeah.
A call that he comes back to try to explain stuff from the original contract, which is kind of funny. I have a lot of notes on this, Jack. But yeah, it was such a fucking softball. And one of the last, it might have even been the last super chat that Tim read on the stream, was asking about why he did such a softball interview. And he did. He didn't question him on anything, really. He let Steven control everything and just kind of agreed with him and licked his butthole along the way. Thank you. This is Kyle. Hello, chat people. Monkey Jack, have to Jack. Thank you so very much. I appreciate it. That feminist $12. Damn it, Kyle.
Thanks, Kyle.
Thank you, Kyle.
Also, thank you, Frosted Glass. Paladins and rogues are all well and good, but the important thing is keeping your will saves high so you can resist compulsion spells and anything else that affects your mentally state. That's true, Frosted. Your mentally state is one of the most important things in D&D.
The mentally state is important. Let's say Daily Wire never comes out with their video. How does the recording come into play with this plan? Well, that's a good question, isn't it? It's a really good question. My guess would be that Steven kind of predicted what was going to happen. Why would you record it if you weren't ever planning on using it?
No, well, he knows these guys. He knows that
Yeah.
they're going to stand up and defend their own integrity
Yep.
because they've done this before when other people have accused them of stuff. They've released things that normally they probably wouldn't have. So he probably knew that they would come out and try and defend themselves.
All right, let's jump into. I have a shit ton of notes. I showed Jack my notes.
It's ridiculous.
Look, a lot of them are just me making comments, so they're not notes that we'll read on here. Like the one that says "What a pussy" when I was watching this idiot with his softball questions.
Real quick, you know who's not a pussy? Travis Gardner. Thank you, Travis. They should settle like real YouTubers in a fixed boxing match. Yeah, I mean that's a possibility, I guess. Maybe they could declare champions or have a duel.
I don't know if Steven can do that with his chest. Because they had to go in and fix his sternum because it was pushed in. I don't know if he should be in a boxing ring. Anyhow, the opening statement, Jack, I don't know if you watched this. He might as well have just said, I support Crowder. He said, this is all about a fight for the control of what conservative media will be and new media. And not a fucking mention about the fact, no, this is a contract negotiation. That's all it was. And Steven got bent out of shape over it. Crowder pushes this narrative over and over and over again that the narrative had been. He pushes the narrative that the narrative had been he was going to make $50 million a year. Nobody said that. In fact, Jeremy over and over and over and over and over again in his video points to 12.5 million or says 50 million over 4 years. He's like, oh, making basketball money. $12 million a year is still a pretty good fucking sum. It really is. It may not be what he thinks he is or even what he's worth, but he's pretending like he was going to be getting minimum wage and they added it all together over a lifetime or something. He said this repeat. Yeah, the narrative was $50 million. 50. No, it wasn't. No, it wasn't. By the way, the one who keeps making this about money is Crowder by coming out, oh, it was never about money. Daily Wire, other than saying that you refused because of the $30 million, all they did was go over the fucking contract.
That's not even a real contract. It's a term sheet.
It's a term sheet. It's an offer sheet.
Yeah.
But that's what they did.
The real contract would come later after negotiations back and forth.
After you go, no, I'm not going to do this. I want more money here. I want less penalty here. Yeah, it would, but that's what they did. They went over it.
Did you see Michaela Peterson's video on this?
I did not. I don't even know who that is.
That's Jordan Peterson's daughter.
Oh, no. At the end, somebody mentioned in a super chat that she had made a video and she had negotiated her dad's contract. No, I didn't see that.
Yeah, she specifically says they spent 5 months negotiating and they changed almost everything. It was lawyers back and forth, back and forth. And in their deal, anything that he records is basically his except for the specials. So they completely rewrote the entire contract, but she said the one they came to her with originally was very similar to what they're talking about now.
Yeah, it wouldn't be weird to have a template that you, all right, throw it in there, put in the numbers, and yeah.
It's very common to have a standard template. You plug some stuff in and say, all right, here's just the starter thingy. And of course, it's going to favor one side.
Once again, Peterson's another person who's been kicked off platform. So having those penalties in there as part of the initial offer would make sense. All right. What else does he? What? I should have made a better note there. Yeah, this is a part that really annoyed me because Steven starts talking about how people say, I think Tim Pool even, some people have said we all have to follow these YouTube rules. And Steven jumped, wait, hey. I've been kicked off platform 4 times in the last year. 4 times. I've been kicked 4 times.
Yeah, he revised that to 4 strikes later.
What he doesn't say is that he didn't get a single fucking one of them on purpose. In fact, he brings up the one where Gerald got in trouble for reading the CDC, which actually is the YouTube guidelines that we're not allowed to go against them. So it's not like he was out there purposefully getting himself in trouble, which, by the way, I don't think he should do. I don't think you should.
No, why would you?
Break the rules like that.
Yeah, you shouldn't intentionally break the rules.
But he plays it off as though he does. You say, hey, I'm not following those rules. Yeah, you are. You absolutely just fucking own that part.
He, as Viva LaFry pointed out on his Twitter, Steven absolutely did take down the mystery box that had that anti-communism shirt because YouTube asked him to.
Yep, he did.
So he has capitulated to YouTube as well. It's
real quick, thank you, S Cybertaz. Ben has Jeremy boring, and Steven has a boring Jeremy. It's actually Gerald. This is a war between alt-light shills for their share of grift money. Look, I will not call either of these guys grifters because I do believe both Daily Wire, all of them, and Steven Crowder believe in their messages.
Yeah.
They're not grifters. I do believe this is a con by Steven to get more attention to his new platform he's going to have.
Yeah, I think it's a bit disingenuous on Steven's part.
Sure, yeah. But I wouldn't call any of them grifters. I see what you're going for there, but yeah, I wouldn't say that.
Real quick, thank you, S Cybertaz, who says, yeah, I borrowed that joke from Mersh, but Quarter Pounder is as boring and milquetoast as Timmy was during the interview. Yeah, Quartering is incredibly milquetoast. I'm not a fan. Look, I don't hate the guy. I don't hate any of these people, really, although I'm starting to dislike Steven quite a bit. And I'm going to be perfectly upfront about this. I think a lot of what he did was give a lot of half-truths, and he's being a little disingenuous toward people that were supposed to be his friends. But
a lot disingenuous.
Yeah, but Quartering I find quite boring and milquetoast, and Tim is a fence rider who thinks he's a revolutionary of some kind.
He's a rogue.
Backstab, double damage.
Faithless says he was talking about unfair bans based on capricious. I don't know why. Is that a 5? People holding some people to account, but not others. When he was talking, the part that I was just talking about, where he's, I got kicked off 4 times. No. It was brought up that everybody on YouTube tries to follow the rules. That was what the talking point was, and that's where it seemed. Wait. And he tries to make it sound like he's a rebel at that point. And look, compared to most, I think Steven is. He walks that line real tight sometimes. If you've seen some of the foot, especially since Dave Landau's been there. Oh my God.
Did he poach Dave Landau from Kumia?
I don't know where he poached him from, but that's should we get into the poaching real fast?
Oh yeah, I think that's worthwhile since you brought up Dave Landau, because I'm pretty sure he used to be on Anthony Cumia's show.
Yeah, one of the talking points that comes up during this is that Daily Wire tried to poach somebody from Steven Crowder. And like, how dare you? Why? Well, I don't even know what the point was of that.
It's trying to make them look disingenuous and untrustworthy, but every business tries to recruit top talent. And if they know that somebody has talent, they try and get them over on their system. That's not unusual at all. If you're good at your job, people will headhunt you. There's an entire industry around it called headhunters.
Tim tried to make it seem like it's some, oh my God, you don't do that. If you're a good boss and one of your employees has a chance to go somewhere else and make money, you should wish them well. And they say, oh, it's different if you go looking for the job.
No, I have a buddy who's a mechanical engineer. He's been headhunted by 4 different companies before he ended up at the one he's at now, where he makes over $100,000.
Yeah,
that's how it works. You start out small, and if you show promise and talent, people will find you and say, hey, why don't you come work for us? Because they want that top talent. That's how business works.
Cybertaz, thank you. Tim's too for me to bother with a parody song. I appreciate the donation, my friend.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. Oh, while we're on that though, thank you, Cult of Krill. Watching Crowder and DW fight pleases me. It's like watching two Spurgs that you hate take shots at each other. Yeah, that's fair. I think there's enough here for everybody to have something to be amused by.
I just want to be clear. I still don't hate any of these people. I don't watch Tim very often because I find him boring and milquetoast. Yeah. I watch Crowder on a semi-regular basis. I don't really watch the Daily Wire all that often, but I do follow several of the personalities and interact on Twitter.
I don't
Klaven. hate. Klaven's funny as shit. I don't hate any of these people. I'm just watching what's going on here, and I see the arguments back and forth. And I was really hoping that Tim would have some balls here and ask real questions instead of just licking Steven's taint all night. You're right. Yeah, I agree with you. Yeah, you're right. And they get to one of Steven's points. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, everybody here wants to be branded as the rebel. That doesn't quite work. First of all, Rebel News is already a thing, and they suck. But you can't constantly just be the underdog. If you want to win this so-called culture war that they claim they're fighting, you have to grow, and you end up as a large business. Then you can't constantly say we are going to win the culture war and still remain the underdog. How does that work? How does the underdog become the dominant in the culture with still being the underdog? Somebody's going to end up in a large role.
I just want to get this one out of the way real quick. They kept bringing up the demonetized thing. Boring even said in the video that that shouldn't have been included in the contract, and as soon as somebody pointed it out, it would have been cut from it because he was already demonetized on YouTube.
Yeah, but this sounds like it was a boilerplate thing that nobody paid that close of attention to because it's a jumping off point.
I don't want to spend a lot of time on that one because it was addressed, and they act like it wasn't. He literally said, that shouldn't be in there. That would be cut out. All you got to do is red pen that. That's what red pen, cross that out. But that doesn't matter. That doesn't matter at all. That probably came up 5 times during this fucking interview.
Oh, they're harping on it because they're victim complex.
Now, this is an interesting part that he says. He says that according to sources that he's talked to on the phone, he didn't record, that Daily Wire plays ball with YouTube. That YouTube and them have some kind of deal to play ball.
And he doesn't have any evidence of that, does he?
No. He said he can't give names or anything because then he'd have to give receipts. And he actually says this near the end of the show when it kind of comes. When it kind of comes up again, he's like, I don't want to betray anyone's trust.
You mean the dude that recorded one of his friends surreptitiously without his knowledge doesn't want to betray anyone's trust?
That motherfucker had the nerve to say, I don't want to betray anyone's trust. That takes balls, man.
You totally did to both Jeremy Boring and Ben Shapiro.
He then tells us, again without any proof, Jack, that Daily Wire is buying or somehow getting views that aren't legit so that they can get better ad revenue.
You better have some proof of that.
No, there's no proof.
Oh, well, then that's just a pointless allegation.
No, see,
does he believe that stupid bitch that was talking about damn it. I can't think of her. Blasey Ford. Does he believe her? Does he believe all women?
Look, they both agreed that happens a lot. Which, when Tim is bragging about how many views he has tonight, and Crowder's, the biggest YouTube conservative, it starts to make me question their views. Honestly, just saying. That was an industry comment, not specifically DW. They were specifically talking about DW when he brings it up.
Yeah,
he absolutely was. Don't get in here and be like, oh, that's not what he was talking about. It's literally what they're talking about when he brings this up. Sounds like a lawsuit, Steve. Well, he was very careful. Like, I don't have any proof, so I gotta kind of couch how I say things here. To that point, Tim brings up view harvesting websites. If you guys are on Twitter, you'll see these from time to time. It'll be something like, you won't believe what celebrities photobombed people. And if you go to the website, there's a picture. And to see the next one, you have to click a button and it brings up another page. And now they have 2 views. And then to see the next one, and they got like 15 or 20 of these pictures. So they end up with 20 views when they probably should have had 1.
Yeah, a lot of sites do this with slideshows.
Yeah.
So every time you click on the arrow of a new page loads, and they just can add a bunch of views then.
And then Tim says people sell those views to other websites who then use it for their advertising. I don't know if that's true or not. I don't really care because it's not germane to the conversation. But that's the basic gist we get from it. And then we move on to why is the burnout rate so high on YouTube, Jack? Why is the burnout rate so high?
People get real jobs and do other stuff.
Well, this is one that annoyed me again because they try to make it out that, look, it's because conservatives are beaten down on YouTube. We all know that's true. We all know it's true. I'm not arguing against that. However, it's not just conservatives who get burned out on YouTube. Tons of people get burned out on YouTube. Do you guys know who Filthy Frank is? That dude used to be like huge, and he's like, yeah, I'm just walking away. Now, he had some depression issues. There was a time PewDiePie was going to walk away.
Yeah. Lots of people have walked away, taken a break.
Lots of people get burned out, and it's not just conservatives. So, look, it is not easy to go out there and produce content over and over and over again. It's not. There'll be days where, like, we go to do the show, Jack. I don't even know what the fuck we're going to talk about tonight. Luckily, I have a good friend who finds a lot of interesting articles. Otherwise, some of these shows would be like, some of these shows would be like 45 minutes long if it wasn't for that. And that's just streaming. That's just talking. To actually stop and make content in some kind of professional manner, you can get burned out. It's not, you do the same thing over and over and over again. That's how you get burned out.
Yeah. Making videos especially is incredibly taxing and time consuming.
Yeah.
Each one of my comic videos takes at least an hour or 2 to do. And that's because I got to read the book, record the audio, edit the audio, which is the most time consuming, which I occasionally do while we're talking, by the way.
Sure.
Because it's the most taxing. Find the pictures, scan them in, clip them out, put them in a timeline, run the processor, hope it works right the first time, because half the time it doesn't, and then verify it, upload it, type in the description, and then schedule it. It can be really, really irritating. And that's like a 5-minute video. The longer ones that you do take a lot longer, unless you do something easy like film your laundry.
Thank you, Frosted Glass, who said, thanks, you're a good friend too, Monk. I appreciate that, my friend. And Comrade Kitty says this because people don't think YouTubers should take a vacation. I don't think that's necessarily true. I've had no repercussions when I've taken my vacations. There was a big kind of scandal with, what's it? Angry Joe? Is that his name?
Angry Big Tom? Oh.
No, not Angry Joe. What's his name? It's Angry Joe, right?
I think so. I don't know.
The
I don't fucking watch that guy.
Video game guy, where he had told his audience something to the effect that he'd never take a day off, and then he wanted one because he was burned out from like 5 years of day after day after day after day. Well, you be careful what you tell your audience.
Oh, angry video game nerd, RJ said.
No, not angry video game nerd. It was it's Angry Joe. I'm almost positive.
So the guy with the kind of fat face and douchebag beard.
Yeah. The little
that's Angry Joe.
Latino guy.
Oh, yeah. Is he Latino? I thought he was Italian. Whatever. I don't care. I don't watch him.
Anyhow, people do get burned out, and there are some audiences that get like crappy like that, but most audiences are fine if you take a couple of days off, take a week off.
Well, the nice thing now is you could record something, schedule it for that time frame, and upload it, and then they'd have something to watch while you're gone. So you don't necessarily have to be live. They can watch some pre-recorded things. So there's still content out there.
Hey, Scribbles, and yes, Eldritch God, Eldritch God, yeah, Angry Joe, who is a terrible movie reviewer. I don't watch Angry Joe. I just know who he is because he's been around forever. He also got into a little spat with Razor Fist not long ago. Well, probably 3 years ago. I think actually the election, and God, has it been that goddamn long?
I don't know.
It's been a while, but those two had a little spat, and so I got to see some on there. Anyway, getting back to this. At one point, I think it's Tim Pool. It's either I forget which one started the conversation. I think it's Tim Pool, and he's like, in theory, I don't have a problem with this contract. And Steven says this: just be honest. Just be honest. I don't understand what was dishonest about the contract. Look, you can hate it. You can think it's a horrible fucking thing, and that's cool. But what was dishonest about it? Can you think of anything, Jack?
No, it's obviously a very biased toward Daily Wire contract, but that's why you take it and be like, I don't know about this one, fellas.
Oh,
let's do some work.
Real quick, let me get this. Kyle, thank you for the feminist $12. I edited a video of God of War, had to censor out all the boobs. It took me almost 3 days. That was a few weeks ago. And I got the urge to start editing again. Have to, Jack. Thank you so much. Yeah.
Thanks, Kyle.
If you have to do something mundane like that, oh God, it'll drive you nuts.
Oh, it's so fucking boring.
The video, it's actually a pretty short video, but one of the most tedious videos I ever made was the one with Bill Maher kissing Ice Cube's ass. And I took that scene from South Park with Jesse Jackson and Randy and put the heads over them. Oh my God, that was a pain in the ass. Because Premiere didn't have a way to just pin the head to the other head.
Oh, that'd be too easy.
I had to do each frame myself. Yeah, that took a lot longer than it might. It's one of my shortest videos. It's like, what, 15, 20 seconds long? Yeah, it took me fucking almost a full day. All right, what else do we have here? There's a lot of shit in here that's just annoying. Oh my God, if he said money, money, money one more time, I was going to punch myself. Money, money, money. The contract negotiation was for how much money they were going to pay you, so it comes up. But he kept acting like that was the only thing, and then that he's the only one, the only righteous one standing up. We have to have this clause taken out because you're doing big tech's work. You're doing big tech's work for him. All right, I guess. How in the world are you any different? Seriously. You're on YouTube and you were bragging about how much you do on Rumble. Why not just quit YouTube? He says on his show often, I wish I'd look forward to the day when I don't have to do YouTube anymore. Who's holding a gun to your fucking head? You're doing it because you recognize the value of being on YouTube. And they even talk about that briefly later on. Everybody who's in this space who can be on YouTube is on YouTube because that's where the fucking audience is.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, oh, well, this is how you get people to your other things. Yeah. You might get them over there and you might get a nice Mug Club subscription out of them, but you wouldn't have if they didn't see you on YouTube. You know how important it is. And you're like, oh, well, but if I get penalized for getting kicked off, that's just not right. Thank you, Pumpkin Hog. It's confirmed that Crowder did counter offer, which makes sense. That's fine. But he asked what it would take for you to walk away from 50 million for the next person. So did he walk away from 50 million due to principles or he countered? That's a good, well, he kind of plays it off like, look, it was just my lawyer who did that. I mean, I had nothing to do with that. They weren't talking for me. His agent, not even his lawyer. They weren't talking for me. My fucking agent wasn't speaking for me. I mean, he doesn't say that out
What?
loud, but it's the implication.
It's the implication.
It's the implication. Like, was there a counteroffer? Because if there was, you can't sit here and be like, oh, it was never about the money, because that's bullshit.
Yeah, because if there was a counteroffer, there was money involved here. Real quick, thank you, RJ. Here's my occasional mom joke. We're having a baby. It's going to be a girl. My wife wants to name her Alexis, but I want to name her the Subaru.
Addie, thank you so much for the donation. Based on the way Lauren Chen explained the numbers in her video, the offer does seem to be so low as to be insulting. I'm glad you brought that back up because I do want to talk about the contracts for a minute. Everybody on Steven Crowder's side seems to think that the way you offer somebody a contract is based on how friendly you are with them. Like they're friends and stuff, and they offer them such a low contract. If you're negotiating for your company, you should not be starting out with the best offer you can give, because you're doing a disservice to yourself. You should be trying to pay as little as possible. That's kind of your job. You're the negotiator. The contract, if you look at Lauren Chen's numbers, using Lauren Chen's numbers, I did up the math. It would be about what was it, $59 million a year that he would bring into Daily Wire. Okay. One, he has no actual proof of the Daily Wire numbers. Now, he has this thing called is it Daily Wire Forever? I forget what it is, but it's this sign up for wherever not Daily Wire, I keep saying that. Sorry, Mug Club Forever. You go over there. If you're a member of Mug Club, you sign up to there so that wherever he finally starts doing his stuff again, you can find him. And he says, the only thing we're going to use it for. He says, and so it's only for people who already have the Mug Club. But he can't prove it because all of the Mug Club stuff was wrapped in with all of the Blaze subscriptions. They don't actually know how many subscriptions there were to Mug Club.
Yeah, Blaze won't give him the numbers.
They couldn't. All of these subscriptions, when a subscription would come in for Mug Club, it would just be counted as a subscription to the Blaze because it gave you a subscription to the Blaze when you did it. So all of the numbers are together. So he can't prove anything there. And then you have to look at, okay, how much is he going to get for ad reads? And again, he could negotiate how many ad reads he's doing each show. But Lauren throws out the number $20,000 per ad read. Okay. Say he does 5 ad reads. That's $100,000 per show, Jack. That's $19 million for the whole year. And if his numbers are right for Mug Club, that's like 30,000. That's how we get up to the 59. There's another, I forget what the other one. Oh, the merch and all that stuff. If those numbers are correct, then that's why I've said all along, what you do is a short contract. We'll do a trial run and see what happens here. We'll do it 6 months or a year, just to show you that we have these numbers. And then after that, if we do have those numbers, it kicks up to this. There's all kinds of ways this could have been negotiated out. But the idea that this is your friend, you can't give him an insulting contract because it's too low. One, this is why you don't do business with friends, Jack.
Yeah, that's, I think, where this whole thing stems from. Never do business with your friends.
Nope. To be fair, they were friends, so that should be taken into account. So it makes sense that Crowder would be offended, even if offense wasn't intended. I hear you, but again, it is business. And this is something that Crowder brought up, and I've seen a lot of people do. Is it business or is it friends? Is it business or friends? Because they say they're friends, but then they say it's business, and then say they can't believe a friend would record them. Those can be separate things.
Yeah, you have to learn to separate your friendship from the business. Because I think if people start taking it personally, which both sides apparently did in this.
Yes, they did.
That's when the problems start. And I think that was it. I mean, can we really just say that the lawyers caused these problems because the lawyers drafted the contracts. Lawyers argued for the contracts of both sides. The lawyers are the crux of the problem.
See, I still think this was Steven's plan all along. As soon as he got that contract from Daily Wire, he decided, yeah, I'm just going to go do this on my own because I if the numbers are correct, he'll make close to $60 million a year. Well, actually, he won't make that himself because he won't have all the ad reads. He'd make closer to 50 million a year. Not bad. Go make it all yourself.
Yeah.
But I want to point out something because I said this several times. Steven is wonderful at creating controversy. And as they were talking, Crowder is asked, do you think you'll be bigger than the Daily Wire? And he's like, oh, I don't really want to answer. And Tim's like, yeah, I'm sure you will. You'll make $100 million a year. Look at my numbers. It's quadruple what I normally get just because you're on. Bullshit. Look,
because there's drama.
Yes, thank you. It's not just because Tim's on. Because Steven's on. Steven might draw in a little bit of a bigger question. Or, God damn it, I just read question in the chat. Understatement, damn you.
Don't blame understatement for your illiteracy.
No, he gets me with words all the time, so I'm blaming him.
No, that's not something to blame him for. That's to congratulate him for.
He might. Fair enough. I hope he knows I love him because he's a good guy, even when we disagree.
Yeah, look, you guys, it's okay to disagree with us on this. Obviously, we're not going to hold it against anyone because Monkey never reads chat, and I don't care.
He might have quadrupled his numbers tonight, but it's not just because Steven was on. Steven might even double his numbers sometimes, but compared to Candace Owens, of course you would. Of course, more people want to see Crowder than want to see Candace Owens or even like somebody like Hunter Avalon or Vaush.
Well, nobody wants to look at either of those two.
No, or Jack Murphy.
Jack Murphy, Apex Predator.
He's going to be on your women. Steven's going to be a bigger draw, but he's not going to be a bigger draw. Quadruple the amount every time. The drama is what sold this. I would not have watched this if it wasn't for the drama, Jack.
Yeah, I wouldn't have watched it if you had it made me.
I don't like Crowder enough to watch Tim Pool, okay?
I don't like anyone enough to watch Tim Pool.
I am tired as fuck right now, Jack. I was going to go to sleep, and I'm like, oh, wait, the thing's on. It should be starting soon because usually it's like 6 or 7 o'clock that they start it. And I saw it was 8. I was like, oh, fuck, I don't know if I can make this. Especially watching him. So I get it. Yes, Crowder's a draw. But Crowder's the biggest draw when there's controversy going on. This is the same argument that some people have been making. I saw Ricada make this argument. Hey, he'll actually do better if he gets kicked off YouTube and then goes over to Rumble and has this major thing. Talking about the election coverage because he had a big show over there for the election because he was kicked off YouTube. He would have had a bigger show on YouTube for that. Once the drama dies down, so does the audience. There's a whole lot of people out there like me who just want to see the shit show. And when that goes away, Jack, that only lasts for a week or two. That's it. And then it dies. And then they come right back to YouTube every fucking time.
Yeah, well, even Ricada came back to YouTube.
Yeah. And Ricada actually quite often does better on Rumble than he does on YouTube.
Yeah, but there's still an audience there. There's still the donations that you get from there. So there's a lot to be said for remaining on as many platforms as possible.
And I have been stressing that forever. Especially if you're a conservative and you're worried about the fact that conservatives are shut down, you should be doing what you can to be on as many platforms.
Yeah, we have to couch our language occasionally, but it is important to try and be on these platforms so you can get the message out as much as possible.
Cenk and Anna are siding with Daily Wire, Ranting Monkey. Had broken clock, man.
Yeah, that's fucking weird.
Well, they really hate Steven Crowder over there.
Well, yeah, because he made fun of Cenk by dressing up like him. And
Well,
That I think really got under the Buffalo skin.
this is one of the
Or
things. I
hide.
mean, a lot of Crowder's growth going back to like the 2016 era was fucking with TYT.
Yeah.
Especially that video where he goes into the what was that little it was so sad because Cenk is up there and they're having some kind of talk and it's on a dais and the audience is fucking empty. But Crowder decided that was the day he was going to fuck with him. It was just funny as shit. He came in dressed up as him. It was great. But it was the controversy that brought more people in. Like, oh my God, this guy interrupted Cenk's thing. Streisand effect that they talked about it on their thing. So people who hated them went, oh, let me go check out Crowder.
Yeah.
He's good at it. And I'm not saying that is a bad thing. I think what Crowder does is great. I love the shit that he does. I love when he's pushing boundaries. But it's not all the time. And you will end up like Ralph if you do that all the time. So even he plays by the rules here because it's the smart thing to do. The Daily Wire contract, other than getting into the dollar amount that he was going to make, only asked him to do exactly what he's doing, add in 2 videos that were produced specifically for them each year, and go to Tennessee 4 times a year to make promos. That's it. Do what you're already doing. That was it. There's no penalty for him getting kicked off for a couple of days. It's only if he is banned from the platform completely. So if he got a strike and was off for 2 weeks, there was no penalty in there for that. The penalties were for the demonetization, which again, they were going to slash because it makes no sense to have that in there when he's already demonetized.
Mm-hmm.
And for getting kicked off or missing a show or missing ad reads. That's what the penalties were. Or if he missed his, what's it called? Yearly things, which those were absolutely ridiculous. Look, I'm not even saying that it's not ridiculous. Any penalty, especially for like missing a show, should not have been for more than the show. I'm fine with that. Be like, it should have only cost 65. Yeah, that's what it breaks down to.
You can negotiate that shit down if you're smart. That's why you have lawyers look over your contracts. Somebody dispassionate that understands the rules of what's being said there and how it's being said.
What else do we got going on here? I don't know how much more of this I even want to talk about, but I do want to point out one more thing. Crowder's big thing here is I don't want to pull the ladder up behind me. I want to help little people. I want the little guy. That's who I'm so worried about. Steven, you have the biggest conservative platform on YouTube. Who have you been helping? Who have you been calling on to do guest spots on your show? Who have you been calling in to be? The only time you ever do that is if there's some kind of controversy that pops up. When was the last time you had a small YouTuber on there? When's the last time you had somebody, a conservative voice out there with 50,000 subscribers? Care so much about the little guy. So much about the little guy. I can give you names of people that I've helped make more people more aware of, Jack. That I had them on the show because I enjoyed their stuff. Highlighted their videos because I enjoyed their stuff. When has Steven done that? Where's he doing that now? When was the last time? He cares so fucking much about the little guy. Where is it, Steven? Oh, don't worry, guys. You can sign up and he'll help take a cut of your money. Not very much, but he'll do it because he cares about the little guy because he's not going to bring up that fucking ladder.
That sounds like a recruitment.
No, he just cares about the little guy. He look, nobody could come up like he does. Nobody could come up. He's working on it, man. Yeah, he's working on it. Why isn't he doing it? Why isn't he doing it already?
Yeah, what cost him anything to put somebody on his YouTube?
Nope. To have that third chair filled by somebody else? Frank Hubbard, thank you. Won't even give you joke credits.
Fact.
Fact. All right. Anything else you want to say about Crowder other than that was a fucking ridiculous interview?
No, I think this stupid bullshit's going to get dragged out even longer, and I fully expect that there'll be more drama later down the line as soon as his NDA with the Blaze is up. I have so much trouble caring about this at this point because it's just a bunch of disingenuous crap to me at this point. I just don't care. I've lost a lot of respect for Steven Crowder. I think what he's doing is kind of scummy, but I really didn't care that much about him before. And I think a lot of this is just publicity at this point.
All right. My final word on this is Tim Pool. If you ever call yourself a rogue again, it probably will kill me. Please don't do it.
Yeah, please stop talking like you're a fucking D&D nerd. It's so weird. I didn't like it when D&D nerds did it. It's fucking stupid. I'm like a rogue and I have a charisma 15. Want to watch me roll my dice so I can see if I can persuade that girl to show me her boobies?
Comrade Kitty, thank you. Dear Steven, bring Monkey and Jack on and stop stealing his jokes. Their jokes, actually. Because half the time, there have been times it's like, hey, Jack said that the other night.
Right?
Yeah. Anyhow. For those who, don't care about this, the reason I do is even though I will never be that big, Jack, this is what I do.
Yeah.
I'm as Ralph would say, this is my sector, which, oh my God, that dude is a fucking mess.
Ethan Ralph? Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. I think he needs to go to rehab.
Do you know who Stardust is?
No.
I was telling you about her the other night. Stardust is a debate bro chick.
Oh, yeah. Okay. I vaguely remember that conversation. I'm about half awake most of the time. Let's be real.
She had Ralph on the other day. They were supposed to do a basically open line, have people come in and throw like mean, stupid kind of questions and stuff. And instead, Ralph invites his horse-faced wannabe pedophile wife. And so it turns into this weird interview, right? Which Stardust is not prepared for. And so she asks the question that they had agreed they wouldn't discuss. She asks if Pantsu, that's Ralph's wife, had ever had a problem with her sister or dad before, which apparently was off limits. And she's like, my bad, you're right. I shouldn't have asked that. But then she asks another question. I'll get to it in just a second. Thank you, Understatement. For Grand Monkey, thank you so much. Oh, motherfucker. You're not going to fuck with me in these. Okay, I'm just looking ahead. All right. This is a tangent. But people always try to defy basic norms like open relationships, doing business with friends, or gender norms. They always think they're the ones smart enough to do it and fail because they find out they're not special. Yeah, we've talked about this. Isn't the first time we've ever said do not do business with friends and families.
Yeah.
It can work.
You didn't say who donated that.
Oh, that was Understatement. I'm sorry. Thank you, Understatement. It can work, but the chances are slim because people expect you're gonna, hey, I'm friend, I'm family. You're gonna cut me that special deal. Don't do it.
Yeah, it's a terrible idea. Don't get tied up in legal stuff or business stuff with friends or family. It's an awful, awful idea. Trust me, I did it from experience. I got in business with a friend of mine, and he still owes me $5,000, and that was 15 years ago, and I'm still bitter about it because he screwed me over and took a bunch of my stuff.
Yep. Okay, so the interview's not going well because she wasn't prepared to be asking questions. And she asked that one, and then she asked this. Has Pantsu seen your sex tape? And this sets Ralph off. He starts losing her mind. His mind. Like,
no,
how many people?
Right the first time.
Oh, fair enough. He starts screaming at her. How many people have seen your pussy online?
Oh, is that who he was talking to? Remember, yes. I mentioned that.
That is.
I thought that was his ex-wife.
No, that is. She kind of looks like Nora without the unibrow. Yeah. Well, anyway, today she lost her YouTube channel.
What?
Yeah. Community guideline strikes for egregious behavior.
Wow. Because she had him on a hollering?
Well, near the end of the interview, he calms the fuck down and he's like, yeah, you're right. And even admits that, it was fucked up for him to bring her on because that's not what the day was supposed to be and shit. But the damage was done. His crazies were out in force. Now, we don't have proof of whoever it was that went whining to YouTube about her, but the timing is amazing. Thank
Yeah.
you so very much, Cryptic. That is very generous. Here's for the grandbaby. She's going to kick all them diaper wearing runts. Just an update. I don't know what it is with this added in, but she was like at 750, and the closest person to her was at 405 the other day when I looked. I didn't look today.
Yeah, but this is a race, and you know how these kids' parents are. They're very competitive.
All right. Now I'm going to have a discussion. Me and BX Beast Boy are going to have a discussion about this one, but I wanted to get your opinion on this, Jack.
Oh no.
I'm a 23-year-old woman who looks like an 8-year-old girl. I'm not a creep. This girl's 23 and she looks 8 and she's dating that guy right there.
Yep, that's Shauna Ray. I know who she is.
I don't think she's a creep because she can't control how she looks.
Yeah, she has dwarfism, which was brought on by an illness when she was a child.
My problems with him, I don't know how you get it up for somebody who looks 8. I don't care that they're 23. She looks 8. Go ahead.
I've seen the show before. Both my sisters watch this trash. They watch all the like fat people shows. One sister likes Dr. Phil. The other sister likes the 600-pound life. They both like watching the Freak Parade on TLC. She doesn't look that young when you see more footage of her. She looks like a midget.
And that's fair enough. But in that picture, she looks 8.
Yeah. Well, certain angles she's going to because she's like structurally a dwarf. But she's a proportionate dwarf. I dated a midget who looked proportionately young.
No, it's not just her size, it's her face.
No, her face looks significantly older in other pictures. Because she's in her 20s. You can tell she's I mean, if you casually glanced at her, yeah, you'd probably be like, what are you doing in this bar? But she's a legal adult.
See, this is where me and a lot of people disagree. And we've tested this. Poppy, who used to be here a lot, Pop Tart, she would, put up a picture and how old does this person look? And I almost always guess correct, Jack.
Yeah.
Where everybody else guesses older. And I don't know why that is. But this girl right here, that picture, that girl looks 8. And I get what you're saying. She might look different in, as she's moving and stuff. But that looks like an 8-year-old.
Yeah.
Even staring at her face, she doesn't look 23.
Well, when you see her like walking out and stuff like that, you can tell she's a dwarf because she has like that sort of like the house elf Dobby in the Harry Potter shows. The way she moves looks more like a dwarf, but her limbs look proportionate to like what an 8-year-old would be. So I understand why this is uncomfortable for a lot of people, but unfortunately, she can't control the way she looks.
I don't have anything against her or anything. I have a problem with a guy who can get it up for somebody who looks 8.
Yeah, but I mean, it's I don't know. Maybe for them it's not sexual. I don't know. Because I mean, the girl's entitled to find somebody to pair bond with, whether we like that or not. But
no, I hear you. I do. And I understand the plight that would put her in if guys weren't willing to bang somebody who looked like they were 8. But it does bother me that he's like, ooh, she looks 8. I'm gonna put my dick in that. Monkey has a fetish for midgets who look their age.
He likes them with the big boogly heads.
They don't know. If I found out a 30-year-old woman or woman was 30 and she looked 18, I would be like, that's gross, because 18 is way too young for somebody like me.
Yeah, I don't know. It's tough because you can see both sides of this. Like, she looks very young, but at the same time, she is still an adult with adult emotions and feelings. And
Again,
it,
it's not about her.
well,
For
I
me, it's
know, but
about her.
she's how is she supposed to find somebody and them not get called a pervert?
Go to an Antifa rally, I guess.
No, she doesn't want to date a child molester. She's
All right.
not a child, therefore he's
She's
not
not. She's
molesting
not.
her.
But let me ask you a question.
Okay.
They go somewhere and there's a child who looks very much like her, same age and everything. You think he'd get attracted? You think he'd be, ooh?
I don't know. I don't know this guy, but I can see why people might suspect that. But I
Yeah.
also don't think it's fair to him to call him a pedophile because he's dating somebody that's an adult.
I didn't. I called him a creep.
Oh yeah, I mean, he might be a total creep. I don't know. He might be a sleazebag weirdo. I don't know. He might like to wear a ball gag and leather underwear and run around the carnival. I don't know what this guy does, but
I couldn't. I could not do it. She looks like a child.
yeah, I mean, I totally get that. I don't know. She's like a Jersey girl, so it's really weird. I've only seen clips of the show, and I think I've seen like part of one episode that was on in the background when I was playing with the dog.
Yeah.
But yeah, I can see where, I mean, she got carded at the bar because they're like, you can't have a kid in here.
Yeah.
So I can see why people are a little uncomfortable with the whole thing, but I don't know. I don't know how to respond to this. It's a very weird situation because she's in a really precarious thing on this, but she's an adult. She's entitled to find somebody that cares about her, and I don't know. That's not going to be easy no matter who she dates.
Monk, if your wife got transferred into the body of an 18-year-old, would you smash? No. I'd still love her, but no. You also have to remember, I like older women and always have. So, thank you, Travis Gardner. I sent you a video of a midget shot putter. I'll have to check that out. Thank you. Wait, didn't you send it to me a while ago? I feel like I've already seen that. Anyway, all right. Moving along. No, already got that one. God, so much of my timeline is Tim and Steven. I don't really care about that.
Yeah, it's tiresome after a while.
I want to talk about this article.
Uh-oh. Is this about the mummies?
Mummies?
Oh, you didn't watch my stream earlier, did you?
No, dude, I'm sorry. I didn't do much of anything.
I'm going to find that article.
I'm going to go down to the bottom and I'll tell you most of what this is about. And you guys, I'll throw it into chat so you guys can read it. But I want to read the last, I think it's just the last paragraph, pretty much gives the opinion. This is a guy who's writing, the title is, I can put it on the screen.
Could you?
I could. So you guys can read along with me. On teachers letting kids transition gender while keeping it a secret from their parents.
Oh, Christ. This again?
Down here at the bottom, he says, they're talking about, the kids going to school and then dressing like girls for a while or whatever. And being trans is different, especially for younger kids or even older ones with mental health and other problems that might lead them to be a bit developmentally stalled. This is about a New York Times article where it starts off talking about this mother who didn't know that they let her child transition. And people are starting to catch on to the fact that a lot of the kids who do this are on the spectrum and not the gender spectrum.
Yeah, they're autistic spectrum.
Anyway, coming out is a process that is going to require parents' input and approval, at least if it's going to go smoothly. That doesn't mean parents should be automatically informed about a kid's gender questions or statements as soon as they crop up. Like I said, I can imagine lots of situations where some degree of discretion is warranted, and there's obviously no reason for teachers to report students merely for gender nonconforming behavior. Remember, we're talking about actually dressing differently, new pseudonym. I'm sorry, new name, dead name over there. We're not talking about them merely questioning. All right, stop that shit. It does mean we probably need to land somewhere between parents should be instantly notified whenever a kid says they might be trans, and younger minor kids get to unilaterally determine every aspect of their social transition, including whether their parents are informed at all. The facile comparisons won't help us work through these issues. All right, here's the deal. If anybody can answer this, I'd appreciate it. Name me anything else that a child does, right? Where teachers would not inform the parents when there's a 40% chance that they'll kill themselves.
Reporting the teacher.
I guess. Anywhere else where we would be like, oh no, you shouldn't report that to the parents, when 40% of the time there's a chance they're going to kill themselves. Anyone? Anybody got something on that? No? Yeah, me neither. What we're talking about here is people who need mental help. We've been over this. I don't want to tread it too much, Jack, but I'm tired of this nonsense. We have to find a middle ground. No, we don't. You need to tell the parent. It's not your job to be their friend and be their safe space. We're not talking about a kid being abused here. We are talking about children who are showing signs of mental health issues. And there's no fucking reason that you should be hiding that from their fucking parents.
Unless they're diddling the kid.
Thank you, Keldrig. Children are not properly equipped to make such life-altering decisions. The end. I agree.
Yep.
Absolutely.
Real quick. Thank you, Frank. Don't know where I fall. I saw a commercial and talked to my sister about it, and I don't know. She's pretty, at least in some clips, but I would be worried about what other people think, as well as unsure if I could. She's by Pittsburgh, I think. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That whole thing with that young woman is really, really, there's no easy way to deal with that situation. And I feel bad for her because her entire dwarfdom or midgetness, whatever it is, came from getting sick as a child. The rest of her family's normal size. So she got really screwed.
Yeah, I feel bad for her. Because again, most midgets don't look young. They look like a 30-year-old that somebody put a stack of books on that was too high. Good night, P-Dog. Have a great one, my friend.
Have a good one, P-Dog.
I was going to say one love, but I know that we confuse the white people. And it made me think, I'm going to do a response, probably a live stream. Our old friend, Hunter Avalone, decided to take shots at Tom McDonald.
That's smart.
And he could not be whiter if he tried.
Well, I'm not one to judge on that front.
Again, BX, well, there's a difference, man. You don't try to come off as street in any way.
Oh, God, no. Why?
But there's parts of it where he's trying to be street, and I guess he's like a parody, I guess, because Tom McDonald's white, so haha, white people can't. Hey,
that's kind of racist, isn't
it? Hey, Hunter, I don't know if you know this, but some of us white people have actually met black people. I know you haven't, except for that guy who's banging your wife. But and I know you're not allowed to talk to him, but most of us have met black people before. You fucking weirdo.
Not all black people are into hip hop.
Right?
Right, Darius Rucker. Looking at you, Hootie and the Blowfish. He's a country singer now.
Satsu.
Yeah.
Satsu's into like that anime music shit.
Yeah, hot Asians. Yeah, absolutely. He's got good taste. But
Real quick, let me grab this. T. Ryan, thank you. Ranting Monkey capitalizes on the Crowder controversy and changes the subject immediately as soon as it's clear his audience widely disagrees. Dude, I've had like 3 arguments on this already, and this will be number 4. If there's something you one, thank you for the donation. If there's something you want to ask me about it, by all means, throw it in chat. We went over it for like 45 minutes. And some in the audience like started disagreeing as soon as we went live.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's going to be contentious, and people are going to believe what they want. And I take no issue with people disagreeing with us. It's not anything we've ever really had a problem with. We're not, oh my God, you disagree with us, you're banned. Nobody does that. We're grown-ups.
I take issue with the notion that we change the subject because people are disagreeing with us. When the fuck have we ever done that?
I don't know.
If anything, I probably should do that more often. Anyhow.
No, because our audience is cool.
I appreciate the donation either way. This next story, Jack, do you remember when we talked about the Good Morning America host who got caught banging?
I vaguely remember that.
We didn't talk about it all that long. We talked about it when it came up, and then we talked about it just like the briefest of times when they got removed from the air. Because at first they were like, "No, we don't care. It's just love," and then the suits were like, "We're gonna need you guys to not be on the air for a while." Well,
that just gives them more time to bang.
You would think, but not exactly, because she's married. Did you know that?
Oh, I did not know that.
Actually, they're both married. And
different people?
Yes.
Oh, dear. Okay. That makes a lot more sense now.
Now you see my interest in this, because it's drama.
You love drama so much.
I fucking love drama. Pause this shit. I already paused
it. In another life, you were like some middle-aged woman eating bonbons, watching soap operas all day.
Dude, I love soap operas.
See?
I miss them being on TV. I used to watch Days of Our Lives anytime I could. That was my mom's soap, so that's what I grew up on.
Yeah, my grandma loved that one. My sister watched Santa Barbara.
I used to watch, because the block was Days of Our Lives, Another World, and then Santa Barbara. That's how much I watched it. I know it. I remember when Santa Barbara came out. It's where Princess Buttercup came from.
Oh, she was so hot on that show.
Oh my gosh, she was hot. Anyway,
Amy
Robach. Go ahead.
Let's not forget Passions, which had the evil midget.
I never watched Passions.
Yeah. Oh my God, it was like the stupidest show on the air because it had so like these supernatural elements with like the midget was really like a ventriloquist dummy. It was fucking stupid.
No, I never watched that one. Mom was a dedicated NBC soap opera watcher, so that's what I would watch when I was like sick and stuff.
Yeah.
And I was a sickly kid enough that I got to keep up with the storylines because they don't change for years at a time. There's little, additions here and there, but you can go back and forth. It's just the title of your stream. It was the main thing we talked about. There are very few streams where my title is for the whole thing, dude.
Yeah, and that's we have to get people to watch the show, so we put the title thing in the title.
If you feel like you were cheated on that, you can go back and watch all 45 minutes and the other 3 videos, man. It is to draw eyes, and it was a big story tonight. So yeah, and it was the lead story. So okay, maybe I was late. I'm sorry. No, dude, it's all right to bring up questions.
You don't apologize. Man. You can disagree.
Yeah. But okay, I was gonna say I never clickbait. That's not true.
It's a half clickbait.
Yeah, I've never said anything in my title that wasn't truly something we were going to talk about. I have sensationalized it from time to time.
Yeah, we're like the Weekly World News or National Enquirer.
Well, I mean, when I was on Lords of the Night, SDA she was going to take a vacation, and the title when we announced it to everybody was SDA leaving the show or something like that.
Yeah, you pulled the same shit when your wife left.
Yes. My wife is leaving.
Yeah, my wife left me. It was like for the night.
No, she went to Virginia.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah, so she was gone for a week. But yeah, I mean, it was technically true, but it was sensationalized. Absolutely. Anyhow, this one actually isn't though. This is really what we talked about for like 45 minutes, dude. All right, Amy Robach blindsided by extent of TJ Holmes' alleged affairs, according to a report. Dun, dun, dun. So this is the bitch that Amy is the chick that he's banging.
Wait, and he's married to someone else, banging this Amy chick, and he had another affair?
No. Well,
not
at the same time. He's a serial humper. He humps different people. He's been estranged from his wife for a while. I don't know how long, but they're estranged, and so he basically pulls a Willie Brown. He goes out there and humps everybody.
Yeah, did this chick think that she was his only side chick?
No.
I'm confused. I need
That's the interesting part here. I know. Okay. Amy Robach didn't expect her alleged affair with TJ Holmes to blow up into scandal, a new report claims. The GMA3 personality whose shock romance with her co-host catapulted the pair into the news cycle last November feels like collateral damage, a source told the U.S. Sun. We're reading this in the Post because that's where I saw the story, and there's a line in here I really want to go over. But just like CNN, they're just reporting what somebody else reported. Unlike CNN, it only took one person to do it, though. So good on the Post. Good on them. They have better readers over there, apparently. Get this shit off my screen. She had no idea the scope of TJ's alleged past office romances, the insider added, referencing Holmes' alleged dalliances. My mind didn't want to say that properly. I had myself an Andy moment. Dalliances with an intern 13 years as junior and an ABC producer. Damn. She certainly did not foresee that their relationship was going to cause a major upheaval outside of her own marriage. Really?
Holy crap. It's bad enough you're wrecking your own home, lady.
Robach, 43, and Holmes, 45, were taken off the air shortly after news broke of the scandal. An internal investigation remains ongoing at ABC. I don't know why they need an investigation. The two are humping.
Maybe they have video that they're watching over and over again, and some interns jerking it to it.
Look how she bends. For 43, she's really bendy.
She's flexible.
The U.S. Sun source believes that the inquest will look into Amy's past to try to find some scandal, noting, but fortunately for her, she is fairly well behaved.
Unless you're her husband.
Right? I'm like, she's in the news because she's fucking a married dude while she's married. So fairly well behaved is probably not the best way you want to state that.
Yeah, she's only a little bit of a whore.
Yeah, there's no skeletons in her closet would have been a better way to say that.
No, because she's getting the bone. Sorry.
However, a source tells Page 6, see this, CNN? She didn't just read the article. She went and got her own sources. See that? Yeah, that's called reporting. However, a source tells Page 6 that Robach was not blindsided, as the report claims, at least by Holmes' relationship with the producer, Natasha Singh. The insider claims he was upfront with her regarding her former relationship. You know, I'm wondering if how you approach that subject. Hey, by the way, I cheated on my wife a few years ago. Is that a normal conversation?
I don't know.
I don't cheat on my wife, so I'm not sure.
Yeah, this is the type of shit that happens when you get embroiled in cheating.
Wait. Ladies, would that turn you on if the married guy tells you he's been banging other people already, would that make you be like, oh well, fuck my husband? Go ahead, Jack. I'm sorry.
No, it's this shit. Okay, it never works out. If you're the other woman or the other man, you're not going to be the only one they drill. Okay, look,
Right.
he was probably out sowing his wild oats while he was married to with a bunch of other women before he was estranged with his wife. Because once a cheater, always a cheater.
Okay, I just want to point out this is a picture, one of their presentations they did somewhere, some gala they went to. This is how they were standing with each other.
He's kind of weird.
What was the first clue that they were banging, guys? That's a little intimate for your co-host on a show.
Yeah, I mean, look, both these people are scumbags for cheating on their partner, but
Sure.
he obviously was dipping his wick in other inkwells. And if she didn't realize that, she's just deluding herself because he's cheating on his wife with her. You think he won't cheat on you too, honey? You're dumb. You're not even married to him. He's already cheating on that woman. You're already the side chick. You think he isn't going to go sample another side dish?
Oh no. He's not. He's only cheating with one person at a time.
Yeah, but still.
He's faithful to the person he's cheating with.
Is he? Is he that we know of? Maybe.
That we know of. All right.
Yeah.
Now, this is the part that I really wanted to discuss because I don't care about these two. I mean, other than my sick fascination with drama. All right. The new report comes just 1 week after a source claimed to the dailymail.com that Holmes had a months-long affair in 2015 with then 24-year-old Jasmine Pettaway. I think I'm saying her last name right. While married to his now estranged wife. Quote, he was a predator who took full advantage of his position and he was reckless, the source who reportedly knew the script coordinator well at the time claimed. It was Jasmine's first real job in television and it was a big deal for her. She was looking for a mentor and she reached out to several people. TJ was someone who was responsive, but he absolutely abused his position of trust. The insider alleged that the two had sex, claiming Pettaway was confused afterwards as to what it all meant. The source further claimed that Holmes' behavior was part of a pattern of incredibly reckless conduct on his part. All right, this is the part I wanted to talk about. She was 25, 24. Is that what it was? Hang on, I'll make sure I get that right. 24. She a grown-ass woman. I don't give a good goddamn how long she's been in television. She made the choice to have sex with this man. Oh, but he's the star. I don't give a shit. You made the choice to have sex with this man. You're no kind of victim. He was a predator. No. He saw a chick he thought was hot and hit on her, and she gave in, and they had sex.
You know what this sounds like? Is she was expecting some kind of like special treatment or a job or something like that out of it. You know, like the usual casting couch stuff.
Or he gonna leave his wife for me.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly, Faithless. That's my point. Once again, no agency for women.
Yeah, all the rights and none of the responsibility.
It's not like she was a 17-year-old intern working there and was getting his coffee and he forced her into a closet and stuck it in her.
Yeah, once again, women are reduced to being like special needs children.
Mm-hmm. Can we please, for the love of God, stop treating women like they're kids? They're grown-ass adults. She made a choice. And that's the part that pissed me. I'm like, you got to be kidding me. Why he's a man and he's on a TV show, so nobody could say no to sex to him. Yeah, you can. And I would bet there's a bunch who have, especially ones who knew he was married. Be like, nah, I ain't doing that.
Well, because
not all women are hoes.
No, but Hollywood does have a looser moral structure.
either we have to treat women like adults, or we need to put them in burqas and they can only go out when we tell them to.
Well, if they're special needs
Because,
children with no agency, they almost need somebody to tell them what to do.
yes, they called that man a predator. There's nothing in there that says anything predatory other than they worked together and she spread her legs for him.
Like you do.
Where's he being a predator?
He was busy being a man, having a penis, a masculine penis, not a feminine one.
I'm tired of men getting the short end of the stick on this stuff. Stop it. Women make decisions. Leave them alone. They have to live with them.
That's expecting a lot these days, Monkey.
He's a predator. He had sex with a woman who said that she'd have sex with him, and she was confused afterwards. Was that her first time?
He used his penis.
You didn't know what that little hole down there was for? What? Where's the confusion? You had sex with a married man, you dirty whore.
But she's a woman.
Anyhow. Cryptic, thank you. There's a reason why men these days aren't talking to women. They make it a lose-lose situation for us. Yeah. You know, there's a lot of talk about why there's like less children and less marriage and less people even just hooking up in general.
It's too dangerous.
It is. When women can't decide anything for themselves and you're guilty of everything, why would you talk to them?
Yeah. And don't leave the condom at their house. They might make babies with them. And I wish that were a joke.
Because that is empowerment. Indeed, yeah. All powerful women, apparently, I said this earlier, responsibility is their kryptonite.
Seems to be.
And the fucked up thing is not all women are like this. But they're the ones that get the headlines. They're the ones that get the headlines.
This is also how they're raising women. This hypocrisy is what they're teaching young women.
Thank you. This is Kyle. I'm starting to get to the point that I believe that if women won't be treated like adults, they shouldn't have the same rights as adults. I know. But that's not the way to go. The way to go is to be like, you're fucking adults. Get over it. You made a decision you didn't like. You know, the other day with Eliza Blue, you made a decision to be in those skanky ass videos. Live with it. Nobody took advantage of you. Just, yeah, I did a skanky thing. No big deal. Live with it. Man, what would it be like to be just able to get out of anything, Jack?
Right? To be a pretty girl.
No matter how fucking dumb you are, no matter what you do, not your fault. I'm sorry. You're a woman.
He took advantage of me because I'm a woman. With an X.
Right. Just a couple of updates on the stuff going on with the January 6th riots, Jack. Several Oath Keepers were found guilty today of conspiracy. And then the guy who had his feet up on Nancy Pelosi's desk, he was found guilty of all 8 charges he was facing.
Of course he was.
There's no sentencing yet, so we don't know what they're going to be sentenced to, but they're all facing more than 20 years. So
they'll get the max.
We'll see what happens.
Such bullshit.
It really is. It really is. Don't care about that. We already talked about Stardust getting kicked off. That's fucked up, man. She didn't deserve that. Oh,
there you go. Real quick. Thank you, Cryptic. I blame Scottish people for women. All that haggis puss makes things worse. I hadn't thought of that. I hadn't thought of blaming the Scottish, but yeah, haggis is disgusting. So you never know. So thank you, Cryptic. That's enlightening.
Danger says these people were found guilty in DC. Shocking. Yeah, the one guy with his feet up on the desk, they're going to appeal based on the fact that this should have been moved out of DC.
Absolutely, it should have. All these people got fucking railroaded. At most, 90% of these people should have got like trespassing charges. And like, here's your $75 ticket. Have a good day.
Well, they got him for having a deadly device, I think is what it's called, because he had a cane with a little shocker on the end of it.
Oh,
And so they hit him with 3 charges, being in the Capitol. I forget what they all are, but 3 of them that had that thing attached to them because he had a dangerous weapon with him.
of course. They're going to throw the book at these guys when they all should have got at most time served.
Yeah. Well, one of the charges that they got him for was rioting or protesting inside the Capitol. And the reason I bring that up is that Sunshine Group. They protested in Nancy Pelosi's office. Nothing happened to them.
No, it's different standards when you're an evil conservative.
Yeah, they're lefty, so we just had to go, oh, yeah, we understand you have problems. Is there anything else I wanted to hit before we move on to what you have? I really want to talk about that chick. Oh, yeah, I do. So we weren't on the air last night. You were, I wasn't. And there was that shooting in, where's it at, California?
Yeah, Montgomery, California.
Montgomery, California.
Yeah, there was another one today in Iowa.
There were a couple more today.
Yeah.
Several Democrats, including Chuck Schumer, the leader of the Senate, and Adam Schiff, that googly-eyed penis, came out and told us how bigotry is unacceptable because of this shooting. You see, they shot up an Asian center. It was an Asian dance studio.
Yeah, ballroom.
Problem is, the shooter wasn't Asian.
An old Asian.
A dance instructor, which probably has something to do with it.
Yeah.
Dance instructor shot up a dance hall. Anybody think that might be relevant? But no, these fucking idiots are out there. Oh my God, look, it's because they hate the Asians. You guys are fucking disgusting. This is why, Jack, when you know there's and stuff and people in art, they won't say who he is. It must mean he's whatever color. I do not do that. I wait until we actually know. Because shootings like this should not be a victory point for you.
Yeah.
That's people getting murdered shouldn't be a victory point for you.
What's worse is they always immediately blame white supremacy, which made me think a black guy did it. Because half the time it ends up being a black dude that shot another black dude or an Asian person. And they even one time on, I think it was CNN, was talking about white supremacy and they're showing the clip and it's clearly a black guy attacking an Asian. So when it turned out to be this little old Asian dude who looked like a movie villain, I was like, what is going on? I'm very confused.
Yeah, I'm annoyed at that kind of shit, and it needs to stop. It won't, because standing on dead bodies is something liberals do really well.
Yeah, well, communism kills lots of people, so there's bodies all over the place.
Gay clubs run in seminaries, says Pope Benedict in posthumous attack on Francis. What? What?
Yeah.
I don't even know how to process that. Hang on.
Either, dude.
I need to check something. Is this stupid thing running? I think I might have left my Steam on because we picked up a little bit of a lag here. Nope, it's not that. Huh. All right, we picked up a little bit of lag. Sorry about that, Jack. I'm not sure where it's coming from.
I don't know. It could be either one of us.
I'm pretty sure it's on my side based on how long it's taking for that picture to pop up when I put it on the screen here. New book by the late pontiff makes extraordinary claim about the Catholic Church under his progressive successor. Gay clubs operate openly in Catholic seminaries, the institution that prepares men for priesthood. The late Pope Benedict, what is that, 16? has claimed in a posthumous, that's how you say that, right?
Sure.
Published books scathing of Pope Francis's progressive agenda. So he's basically saying Francis turned the church gay. Damn it, Francis. You're giving us a bad name. You couldn't have taken the name Pope Kyle. How come there's never been a Pope Kyle?
I think we both know why. Kyle's Jewish.
Damn it, Kyle. Excuse me. In a blistering attack on the state of the Catholic Church under his successor's papacy, Benedict, who died on December 31st at the age of 95, said that the vocational training of the next generation of priests is on the verge of collapse. He claimed that some bishops allow trainee priests to watch pornographic films as an outlet for their sexual urges. Benedict gave, well, if some of the men on the internet are right, if you just show them enough porn, they won't be interested anymore. You start the first day out with them watching some missionary sex, and then each day it goes up a little bit, and by month 3, they're watching somebody bang a dog, and then nothing just does it for me anymore. That's the theory about how the pornography works, right?
I don't think that's how pornography works, but maybe some weirdos are predisposed to being degenerates like that. I don't know.
It is one of a handful of recent books by conservative Vatican figures which have poured scorn on the decade-old papacy of Francis, who was elected after his predecessor's historic resignation in 2013. Well, I mean, he has been pretty, especially by Catholic standards, he's been pretty liberal. So, I mean, I can't really argue with him. I don't know if there's actually gay clubs going on. I'm not there.
I mean, I could see it.
Right. Would anybody be surprised?
No.
And all you got to do is go sit in the box and confess, and everything's okay.
No, they're not sitting in the box, if you know what I'm saying.
The outpouring of new books contributes to impressions of a mounting civil war in the church following the death of Benedict, according to John Allen, a leading Vatican analyst who writes for Crux, the Catholic news outlet. They have their own news.
Yeah, it's a country, dude.
I guess, yeah, I should have figured that, but do they still use the old style printing press?
Probably.
The existence of homosexual clubs is particularly prevalent in the U.S., Benedict said in his book, adding, in several seminaries, homosexual clubs operate more or less openly. Is he talking about gaping right now?
I don't know, honestly. Maybe.
All right. He cited the example of an American bishop who allegedly allowed his seminaries or trainee priests to watch porn films, presumably with the intention of rendering them capable of resisting behaviors contrary to the faith. I have so many questions. What kind of porn was it? That's an important question.
Nun porn. Italian
nun porn would be excellent. Yeah, priest, bang the nuns. That's what they're there for. Thank you, Frosted Glass. Breaking news: Jesus is still our guy. Indeed. Yeah. So there's a little bit there, but despite their many differences, Pope Francis also warned recently that priests and even nuns regularly watch porn. That's kind of hot, actually.
Yeah, but nun porn is a lot better on Italian movies than it is in real life because maybe they want to blow the horn of Saint Gabriel, but when you see the nuns in real life, you're like, yikes.
I've seen nun porn. I know that if nuns are watching nun porn's going to be made. That's going to be awesome. That's how it works, right? It's kind of like the pizza thing. You order a pizza and she's gonna suck your dick.
Yeah.
I've seen that enough that I know. Man, thank you, Cryptic, who says none of your business. Indeed. All right. Peru evacuates hundreds of tourists from Machu Picchu amid widespread violent protests and government crackdown. What the fuck's going on down there? More than 400 tourists, including 300 foreigners, have been trapped at Machu Picchu for days. Hundreds of tourists were stranded at the ancient archaeological site of Machu Picchu after Peru's railway service said protesters sabotaged a portion of the tracks leading back to the capital. That kind of sucks.
Yeah.
There's like nothing out there.
Yeah, it's middle fucking nowhere.
I hope you brought snacks. The city of Cusco, the former capital of the Incan Empire, and an about 70-mile train ride from the town of Machu Picchu, has been the site of some of the most intense clashes since the South American nation first became engulfed in unrest after then President Pedro Castillo, Peru's first leader with a rural Andean background, was impeached and imprisoned for trying to dissolve Congress last month. Thank you, Frosted Glass. Calm down, Monk. They're non-binary. Stop it. Look, I would watch fat old ugly nuns go down on each other.
I wouldn't.
I wouldn't like
hot young Italian nuns.
I wouldn't like myself for it, but I'd watch. I'd be like, "Are you getting all the way in there?"
You would definitely go to hell for that.
Yeah, I mean, I can't help who I was born as, man. Train service to and from the town of Machu Picchu at the base of the hill where the ancient Inca citadel with the same name sits had been closed since Thursday due to damage of the tracks leading back to Cusco. Hundreds of tourists reportedly lined up to sign a petition to be signed a petition to be evacuated in a humanitarian train. Why do people think petitions mean a fucking thing?
I don't know.
Do you think the people who blow up the railroad track give a fuck that you don't like being stuck there? The whole point is to make it inconvenient for you so that you'll get on their side. I don't understand. I see this a lot in articles, over at petition.com. This has 50,000 signatures. So?
Yeah. Hey, let's write a petition with our demands. Shut up. That says nothing. It's like having a restraining order. You have a piece of paper. Good job.
JMK says, from priests and nuns to trains. How do you know we weren't talking about trains before?
I think we were.
In some cases. Dude, can you imagine being a priest? You've never put your willy in some hot flesh, and we won't call her attractive. Some nun who could pass as a man comes along and be like, "Hey, you want to bang this?" You would get the hardest dick you ever even heard of.
Well, I think if the nuns dressed like altar boys, they'd probably get a lot further with that.
I just feel like that should happen. If Marty's mom was a nun and he was a priest.
Have you ever watched nun porn from Italy?
I couldn't tell you where I watched it from.
I think you should watch
it. I was doing research.
Yeah.
I was doing some research for an article I was thinking about writing for the Christian Science Monitor, you see. And so I had to watch some. And I don't remember where it was from. I'm pretty sure it was American, though. They were speaking the American.
Oh, yeah, that's the wrong kind. You need to watch the Italian stuff. It's actually much more tastefully shot. They get better camera angles, and the lighting is far superior.
Look, it's hard to mess up the camera angles in the porn that I would write articles about, Jack. Because there's no balls or penis involved. That's all removed. So it's a lot easier to get in there. Just saying. There are a lot of nun puns in our chat.
Yes, there are.
All right, so these people are stuck in Machu Picchu because there's some assholes who are mad that their dictator of a president got impeached. I feel like the people of Peru did the right thing there. Dude tried to dissolve Congress.
Well, I mean, something to do, I guess. Why not have a revolution every now and then, or a pseudo dictator?
Sure.
I feel bad for the
mean,
people that get stuck at Machu Picchu because it is way out in the middle of fucking nowhere. And walking back, really not an option between the murderous locals and the wildlife because they have like jaguars and shit down there just roaming around. You're in the middle of the fucking jungle. It's up on a mountain on top of that. So, yeah, you're kind of stuck.
You'd have to walk the train tracks back, and that's where people were blowing up train tracks.
Yeah.
Good job. Cryptic, thank you. Thank you, Cryptic. This is a sister act. It could be.
Thank you, Keldrick.
That little redhead. Keep going.
Thank you, Keldrick. Nun porn is a dangerous habit.
that little redhead in Sister Act, I'd have banged her. I'm just saying. What? She was cute.
She's like a
she wasn't like
standing next to a bunch of twos.
Yeah, that makes her the prettiest one. That's the one you want to go for. You bang her twice, you got a 10.
I don't think that's how that works.
That is. It's a multiplier up to 10. If you bang a 1 10 times, you win.
I do not agree to those rules.
If you bang a 0.5 20 times, it's a win. Gross. That's how math works, man. I mean, you're probably going to itch because a 0.5 will let anything bang her. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
And then she has to go defend the front line for Antifa. State lawmakers propose power grid protections after attacks. Hey, let's close that barn door. The horses are gone.
Right.
Somebody get that fucking door. Fucking Jesus. Raleigh, North Carolina. When gunshots at 2 electrical substations. Oh, thank you for telling everybody how they're being destroyed.
Well,
all of the articles we've seen so far just say sabotage. This one tells you how to do it. Monk derails more than the Peruvians.
Accurate.
That's why you watch, isn't it? All right. When gunshots at 2 electrical substations cut power to thousands of central North Carolina homes for several days in early December, Republican State Representative Ben Moss watched his vibrant district full of family farms, small businesses, and sprawling golf courses become a ghost town. Well, yeah, just till they got the power back on. Damn. It was 2 weeks. And look, that's nothing to sneeze at. Going 2 weeks without power would suck. But do you remember when Maine went without power for 6 months?
Shit.
There was a major snowstorm that knocked out their power and they didn't get it back on till spring. So I hear you. It was a ghost town in North Carolina. It sucked, but come on. Stop making it sound like it was the end of the world. Like you were expecting zombies to be walking down the street and shit.
Yeah, the Amish are laughing at it.
Yeah, no shit. After the latest attack last weekend on a substation in Randolph County, northeast of Charlotte, Moss is urging fellow lawmakers to prioritize new legislation that would secure the state's critical infrastructure when the legislation session begins in earnest this week. What fucking day is this? Isn't today the 23rd or something?
It's the 24th. This article is from the 22nd.
Okay, so the 22nd. So this coming week. So it's this week. These motherfuckers didn't get started until today?
Look, Monkey, you can't rush something as critical as safety. You have to take your time and mull it over while everything is still susceptible.
I hear you on that, but I mean, these motherfuckers, it said when the session begins in earnest this coming week. So they got elected back in November. They got elected in November, sworn in early January, and they're like, we need 2 weeks off before we start our job.
Yeah, you got to get comfortable. You got to pull out your research papers. Look, just because this is of critical importance to the plebeians doesn't mean anything. We'll just take our time, form a blue ribbon committee, talk about it for a while, maybe do something in a few sessions, maybe not, maybe do some more thinking after that first session. And in 4 or 5 years, we'll get some legislation passed.
Lazy bastards. Where are we at here? He's among the first state legislators to propose power grid protection this year amid a surge in attacks on U.S. substations, primarily in the Carolinas and Pacific Northwest. Tifa, excuse me. Oh, truth in my throat. The recent attack in Moore County, North Carolina, and others in Washington, Oregon, South Carolina, and Nevada have underscored the vulnerability of the nation's far-flung electrical grid, which security experts have long warned could be a target for domestic extremism. Yeah, good job. Give them the idea. And now because of this, they know how to do it. Fucking idiots. Lawmakers, and at least, look, I understand why people were worried about it, but that should have been kept quiet as they protected it instead of going, hey, everybody, it's open. We're not going to protect it. It's open. That's dangerous.
Well, I mean, Joe Biden gave Putin a list of our critical weaknesses, so.
No, yeah, they might as well put a fucking bullseye on these things.
Yeah.
Rodline, thank you. We need more social workers at the grid, not police. Fair. Oh. I don't even know how you would go about doing something to protect from this. I mean, besides like armor plating on the damn things. I don't know the answer. I know doing nothing is not the answer.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Thank you. This is why we need a speaker immediately. I mean, if they were doing that, if they were, arguing the speakership, I'd be okay with that. That is the beginning of the session. Another problem is the government is doing nothing to upgrade the grid. Well, is that really their job?
Well, it is kind of the government's job to upgrade the grid because they've been talking about it for years, which is what they've been doing. They did pass some legislation that was supposed to allocate money to upgrade the grid, but that probably got spent on a bunch of pet projects. So that's why our power grid is failing.
But doesn't that money go to the power companies who have to fix it?
Technically, I think it does, but they're not actually doing what they're supposed to be doing with it. So they're not actually upgrading stuff until stuff fails. Then they use the money to upgrade it at that point instead of preemptively upgrading things. They just wait till something breaks, which is a really stupid way to do it.
By the way, Biden says he's bringing, high speed, low cost internet to everybody. So I'm waiting. I got my fingers crossed.
Yeah, I'd hold.
I'm sure that's coming any day now.
Yeah.
Yeah, Zelensky will see money for that before my house gets good internet.
Right.
Lawmakers in at least 2 affected states, North Carolina and South Carolina, have begun proposing remedies. Yeah, again, I'm not sure what the answer is. I know the answer is not just, we'll get to it later. You guys out there, if you were in one of these areas where some jackass shoots at a substation and knocks out your power, how happy would you be with the people who've been, talking about it needs to be fixed? I'd be mad as a motherfucker. 99% of infrastructure has security through obscurity. I feel like there's not really all that much. I think that it has security because most people aren't assholes and haven't just gone out there and done some shit. JMK says fire back. Well, here's the best plan I've come up with, right? We have we take all this great tech that we have and we put these cameras on them, and if somebody shoots at it, it immediately targets on them and shoots the fucker. I just don't know how feasible that is. You know, fix this shit RoboCop style. Am I wrong on that?
I don't know.
They're out there shooting guns and destroying shit and ruining people's lives. Okay, maybe not lives, but certainly fucking with them horribly for a while.
Yeah.
Yeah, they can go fuck themselves. All righty, we got special needs kids in this one. New York City private school for special needs kids called iBrain. I don't know why that makes me laugh. Which charges up to $300,000 a year, conducted research on students without consent of parents, claims lawsuit from ex-staffer. I feel like it should be the parents who are suing. Oh, excuse me, guys. I told you earlier I was tired as shit, man. And I really am. And I still got to do a game stream.
Sleep is for the weak.
RJ, thank you so much. I don't know what that sticker is. Hang on. Thank you for the love-eyed sticker. I don't know what you call that one. Thank you so much for that. I appreciate it. A former employee with the International Institute for the Brain. Why would you ever put your child there? You might as well say we're going to fuck with your kid's head.
I want to make a company called iPinky and have a partnership with them. iPinky and iBrain.
International Institute for the Brain. Okay. In New York City, accused the special needs school of abusive work environment, neglect, and employee sexual harassment. The school, known as iBrain, serves children with brain disorders and costs between $100,000 and $350,000 in tuition, depending on student needs. Why? I'm trying to think of, when you get to a point where you can't educate anymore, right? There's a point where, unfortunately, that child is gonna drool on himself the rest of his life, right?
Yeah.
I'm trying to picture up until that point why you would need $350,000 to take care of them.
Because they're
how bad would they have to be?
Rich people.
Would like Ricky Berwick be the cutoff?
I don't know.
Former employee Caitlin, of course it was a woman, sexual harassment, I should have guessed.
Yeah.
Caitlin Newman sued iBrain, alleging she and other women were discriminated against and the founder created an abusive environment. She also alleged the school hired fake doctors who perform research on students without parental consent. You're hiring fake doctors to do research on retarded kids.
Yeah.
I mean, I hope this isn't true. I hope she's just a disgruntled employee who's being a bitch.
Oh, wait till you read a little further down because it gets a lot worse. But real quick, thank you, Cryptic. I do cybersecurity for electrical as a living. The rules brought out is non-binding to most states. Basically, the feds are pissing money on regs they don't have a mechanism to enforce. I have to interoperate what they want, and it's frustrating. That sounds annoying as shit, dude. That would drive me up a wall. How do you do your job?
See, that's the shit I'm talking about, because the government doesn't actually control the power grid. So for them to do anything, what they would be doing is giving that money to the power companies, saying you need to do this. All right. This is why when it came to like the infrastructure bill, and while I think we need, and I have no problem helping companies build factories and stuff here with a little bit of our money, how do you enforce it? And this is a problem with our government in general, is, following the money. There is literally no oversight on the money going to Ukraine right now. None. Zero. And everybody who asks for it's treated like some kind of asshole because they want to know where our $100 billion has gone. How dare you ask that? Didn't you know Zelensky's a national hero?
It went to
Look.
FTX in Zelensky's bank account.
Look, Kevin McCarthy likes him. Dick. Where are we? Oh, so sorry. I didn't mean to have that dead air, but I do really long yawns sometimes. If I've started making you yawn, I apologize. A New York City school for children with brain disorders is being accused of a host of allegations, including using students as guinea pigs in scientific experiments, sexually harassing female employees, and being infested with cockroaches and dead rats. You're charging $350,000 a year at the top, and you got cockroaches and rats?
Well,
That's
those administrators need a lot of money, monkey. It's hard work.
A former employee of the International Institute for the Brain, a private school on the Upper East Side of Manhattan known as iBrain. You built it in Manhattan. That's why you have rats.
Yeah.
Also said the school scammed the New York government for extra funds and asked unqualified employees to perform nursing procedures on disabled students. Former publicity associate for iBrain, Caitlin Newman, filed a lawsuit against the school on Tuesday after quitting in early December. Now, here's the thing. I'm not saying she's wrong that this stuff happened. But anytime it's a woman who has left a job and she claims sexual harassment, I immediately get suspicious because too many of you bitches have lied.
Yeah. On the upside, she's kind of hot.
Remember that one Asian girl? I forget her name.
I remember most Asian girls.
She sued the company. I think it was a lawyer. She sued them and claimed sexual harassment, but she'd been in a consensual relationship with somebody.
Yeah.
And she was like, "Oh, you got Cho? Is that what her Ellen Cho or something like that?" And yeah, she's like, "Oh my God, I was sick." And people came out to support her. And yeah, it turns out she had an office affair that didn't go well, and so she decided to take it out on the company. There's too many stories like that, so I automatically disbelieve. Hey, Prospero, how you doing tonight, sweetheart?
Hey, Prospero.
Oh yeah, she's. I don't like
for
her
a white
nose.
chick. She's pretty cute. I don't care about.
Newman alleged that it's distracting. It doesn't go with her mouth. This area needs to be redone.
Well, my wiener doesn't go with her mouth, but it'll be in that vicinity too.
And you're gonna get poked in your balls with that nose. That's gonna hurt,
Is
man.
she upside down?
Yeah. Oh, you ain't going tit for tat?
No. I'm not a giver.
Oh.
Just finish
Gentlemen,
up
you should be
quietly,
doing
honey.
that. Newman alleged that some members of staff were incompetent, fraudulent, and abusive towards women. One staffer was chief innovations officer, chief innovations officer, Dr. Victor Pedro, whose profile on the iBrain website carries the quote, "If you want to be successful, look at what everyone else is doing and do the opposite." He does know some people are successful, right?
Shush. No.
Prospero, I am happy. Thank you for asking. She asked how we both are.
I hope you're doing well.
Newman said Pedro held himself out as a neurologist or neuroscientist, but upon further digging found out that Dr. Pedro had graduated with a BS from University of Vermont in 1981, moved to Boston University to study dentistry, but ultimately became a chiropractor, graduating from New York Chiropractic College in 1983. The suit noted his chiropractic license expired in December 2021. Oh my God, it's Black Ricky Berwick. I know those arms. Ricky, blackface, not cool, man. Not cool.
Over the line, dude. You only
That
have
was
so
wrong.
much progressive stack.
Newman alleged that without the consent of patients, Pedro conducted research on students without informed parental consent. Well, you said without consent of parents. You don't have to repeat that. Gotta hate writers these days.
I know.
Dr. Pedro showed plaintiff his brain PowerPoints. The fuck is that? Promoting various controversial techniques that had not been approved by the FDA or apparently any other governmental agency. In all seriousness, I need to pause here for a moment. Humanity has a very, very bad track record when it comes to how we treat retarded or severely disabled people.
Yeah.
Stop it. You're supposed to, even as a chiropractor, do no harm should be your first fucking thing. Just because they can't speak doesn't mean it's okay to fuck with them like that. The fuck is wrong with you?
Yeah,
Anyhow.
look, I worked with special needs people for a long time, and it's very difficult, and you need heavy oversight and very well trained people to do it. Otherwise, you end up with really horrific places, like what was the place Geraldo exposed? It wasn't Penhurst? It was somewhere else.
Oh,
it was in New York.
I know what you're talking about. I don't remember the name.
Yeah, but that type of stuff used to be way more common than it is now. Now they do have a lot more oversight, still probably not enough. But I would not trust a chiropractor to do this job. I'm sorry. This is more like neuroscience and physical therapy kind of stuff.
In Pedro's own developed and patented CIT program, patients undergo diagnostic tests to identify underperforming neural pathways. During the therapeutic phase, the patient performs several non-invasive audio, visual, motor, and proprioceptive activities that are used to. What does that mean?
What? Which part?
Guys, what is proprioceptive? What does that mean? I know what all the other ones are.
Otherwise known as kinesthesia, is your body's ability to sense movement, action, and location.
Okay. Sorry, guys. That was a word I've never seen before. Group homes for the mentally ill and disabled is a Medicare scam in most cases. Yeah, there's a lot of those.
Yeah. Group homes are either great or they're horrific.
All right. Where are we? Oh, thank you so much, Cryptic. He looks like a dark, opinionated Scotsman. I've never seen opinionated Scotsman, so I'm gonna have to take your word for it. Where are we? Those activities are used to activate and heal the injured or underperforming areas of the brain, or to optimize areas of the brain around injured or problematic areas. Pedro's personal website states. For example, exercises could include visual, eye movement, tracking, and pursuit activities, among others. Is this the guy? That's dude.
Should say under his name, under his picture.
It does, yeah. I would be looking at this guy for touching the kids.
He
looks like
has
Brian
a
Stelter's
criminal head
brother.
shape. He does look like Stelter's brother. I'm gonna drop a link in the chat. If you're easily disturbed, do not watch it. This is part of the Willowbrook expose that Geraldo did. It is not easy to watch.
Yeah. Some of what is done to these people is fucking horrible.
Yeah. They were left in third world conditions.
And that's, you know what? Unfortunately, that's not the worst thing I've heard that's gone on in places like that.
Yeah.
We're talking physical and sexual abuse of these people.
Yeah.
We're talking torture of these people. If you go back to like the 60s era before they all decided, yeah, we probably shouldn't do this to retarded people. There's a lot of really fucked up things. Anyway, the suit alleges some staff members were fired for asking too many questions about the experimentation. iBrain also hired a man who called himself Doctor. I don't like that who called himself thing.
Yeah, I know, right?
I've seen a lot of people on Twitter who call themselves doctor, and you probably shouldn't go to them for any kind of medical help.
Yeah.
Dr. Alam Sheriff, and claimed to be a former Naval Reserve officer and a Harvard-educated behavioral psychologist. In reality, according to the complaint, Sheriff was a man named Rodney Robinson, who was an ex-con. Good job on the background check.
What? Background check? This is a questionable procedure to begin with. Do you think they're going to run background checks? They need scapegoats.
Newman said he worked with special needs children every day and was not challenged regarding his phony credentials or the so-called clinical work he was engaged in, which, upon information and belief, turned out to be a complete fraud. No. Yeah, she should always have her picture taken straight on because the nose is less disturbing there. Oh, that's a different woman. Why do they both have giant schnozzes?
I don't know.
Is Nick
Maybe
Rekieta
it's a
out there
nose
knocking everybody up?
Maybe.
Nick, stop spreading your seed, man.
Yeah, doesn't he have like 5 or 6 kids to begin with?
He's got 5 kids, I believe. Yeah. All right. I can't read the rest of this. This shit pisses me off. Do not take advantage of people who can't help themselves, man. These people can't even tell. If there's a part of it you want to talk about,
yeah, there was something later on that is also interesting. Is that the doctor Donahue allegedly set his wife up with a transportation company and was billing for transports that never happened, and that's probably what he's going to get busted on.
As long as they get busted for something, because it's fucked up. Don't, like I said, don't take advantage of people, especially people who can't help themselves. These kids probably can't even tell you what these people are doing to them.
Yeah,
that's fucked up.
It's horrific, and if the accusations are true, this is completely disgusting stuff. So, I haven't seen much coverage on this, which is why I wanted to bring it up, because the American press not really talking about this.
All right, is this one just to make me laugh?
Yes.
The secret codes of incels. Jesus Christ. Okay. Former involuntarily celibate lifts the lid on the sinister underworld of women-hating extremists and their cryptic dialogue. Dun, dun, dun.
You had to
cryptic,
say that.
What have you been doing, man?
He's been doing dialects. No, you got to spice it up a little bit. He lifts the lid on the sinister underworld of women-hating extremists and their cryptic dialogue.
JB says monkey should know all these, right? I've been called an incel a lot.
Yeah, a lot recently too, for some reason.
Oh, they're talking about the Bengals-Bills game in chat. I did say the other day that the Bills would win. I did leave the caveat that any given Sunday could happen, and any given Sunday happened, and the Bengals somehow managed to win. They won in a pretty decisive fashion. They beat the shit out of the Bills. But they're going to go into Arrowhead and have to play a real team. I don't know what the fuck happened to the Bengals or to the Bills the other day. Jesus Christ, they looked bad. They looked horrible. They were playing in their own stadium, and a little bit of snow made them suddenly not know how to play football anymore. Yeah, Prospero, I've been called an incel at least a dozen times on Twitter because I have the wrong opinions. Riley Drap 23 has spoken out about falling into incel ideology during 2020. You know what this is? This is the new alt-right.
Yep.
Do you remember? You can get famous saying, "Hey, I left this ideology," if it's a right-wing thing. Yeah.
I can't wait till there's the alt incels.
Oh, the alt incels are going to be great. They're going to be incels who bang chicks. But Asian chicks, because that's how it always seems to turn out.
Well, Asians are the superior tang, let me tell you.
The ex-incel urged that men need more support to deter them from extremism. Be a man, bitch.
No.
Involuntary celibates believe women are duty-bound to have sex with men. Oh, fuck off.
You said duty.
And dude, get that shit off your face. It looks like my cat shed on you.
It looks like when somebody transitions and they get testosterone. That's what his beard looks like.
That is, oh God. All right. Sorry, I don't mean to judge you, homie.
I do.
Yeah, do that. Cut your hair and get a personality. You could probably get laid. An ex-incel has shown a light. Haven't we known about incels since Rogers?
Yes, they're going to get to Rogers, but, Monkey, it's important to shed a light on the inner workings of the cryptic dialects. This is a cult, Monkey. They're exposing it.
Shone a light on the sinister world of the involuntarily celibate and their cryptic online language.
Oh, da, da, da.
A 23-year-old from Chicago has lifted the lid. How many times are you going to say this shit?
As many times as necessary.
On incel ideology, which in its simplest form refers to people unable to find romantic or sexual partners despite wanting one. Didn't we used to call them nerds?
Yes. Or socially
dweebs, geeks.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yet recently, incels have become more known as violent extremists, with a term made famous following a number of mass murders, including the 2014 Isla Vista killing committed by Elliot Rogers and the UK's Plymouth gun attack in 2021. I don't know that one. I'm not familiar with the other one. I know the Rogers one because that one blew up so everyone. Look, Rogers was a douche, all right? He was a murderous douche. An entitled murderous douche. Jack, I do think that, as you know, at the top there, you say, men need more support. I think men need fathers. I think that would help a lot.
What?
Keldrick, thank you. He's only an ex-incel because he became a male feminist, a lateral move at best. Did he really? In Plymouth, gunman Jake Davidson, 23, killed 5 people, including his mother and a toddler, before turning the gun on himself. An inquest began. Well, here's the codes. I don't care about the rest of this shit. Giga Chad, extremely muscular man. This is the frightening language. Giga Chad.
Yeah, clearly.
But by the way, incels aren't the only people who say Giga Chad. I've heard that more in Medicare's chat than anywhere else.
Obviously, Medicare is their leader.
Giga Chad, an extremely muscular man. Chad, conventionally attractive man. Stacy. What a scary word, Stacy. What a scary code word. Whatever happened to Betty's?
It's racist because of Black Betty's from Ram Jam.
Did Betty get upstaged by Stacy?
Yes.
That bitch.
Because Stacy's mom has got it going on. I don't know. I'm just making shit up now.
Stacy's a conventionally attractive woman. Oh, there's Becky. Becky is a physically plain woman. All right. Black Pill, a fatalistic idea that an incel cannot improve their own situation and accept their fate of unattractiveness, lack of wealth, or social status. Is that what black pill means?
I thought Black Pill was a bit more jaded and nihilistic.
Yeah. I mean, I guess you can kind of make nihilism fit that. Because if you can't change anything, why bother, right? But all right. Red pill refers to waking up from your normal life of ignorance and seeing the world how it really is. Yeah, I saw The Matrix. Blue pill, a person who lives a conventional life, unaware of men's oppression by women. Purple pill, which one of these is this scary code language? None of this is scary.
No, it's silly if nothing else.
Purple pill, feeling unsure about conventional stances but rejecting a particular gendered value system. What? Okay. Looks max, using earnings, possessions, exercise, or plastic surgery to maximize attractiveness. Going ER, inspired by mass murderer Elliot Rogers, means a killing spree. Okay, they finally got one. They got one that's a little bit, ooh. Rope denotes suicide. And LDAR translates to lie down and rot, indicating there's no hope in life. Yeah, I got to tell you, after reading up, don't put Elliot Rogers on there. He's a douche. After reading all that, I got to be honest, Jack. I'm trembling a little bit. And
scared.
I'm scared. I'm scared.
Scared. The creepy incel.
That is the most basic bitch wording that I've ever seen. Fuck, what kind of basic bitch incel did you find? Not you. I'm talking about the author of this thing.
Well, I mean, the guy's male feminist now, so.
Fuck off. Stop trying to find people for everyone to be scared of. Look, there are some of these guys who are lunatics, Jack. That's just fact. But most of them are just awkward guys who wish they had somebody. And yeah, they hook up with these other awkward guys and they're like, yeah, fuck bitches. And that's all it ever is.
Yeah.
All right. And then the first time they get a taste of pussy, they're like, oh, yeah, that was stupid. So it's okay. Calm down.
I like this vagina stuff.
Right.
Real quickly. Thank you, Keldrick. Isn't the blue pill what they give old dudes who can't raise their flagpole anymore? That's a different blue pill. That's the little blue pill.
The little blue pill. Yeah. Got to be careful. Somebody offers you the little blue pill. I mean, it depends on who's around. You don't want to do that if you're, going to Disneyland the next day.
Yeah, that one should last less than 4 hours.
Time and a place. You don't want to be hugging Goofy with a tent.
Don't you? Don't you want to make that guy's job more uncomfortable than it already is?
Look, I'm not saying I wouldn't do it to Daisy, but not Goofy. Jesus fucking Christ. How do you find these stupid fucking stories, Jack?
Fairly easily. You'd be surprised.
The term mummy is dehumanizing and should no longer be used, museum says, in a bid to protect ancient Egyptians. I hate this fucking world.
UK's full of stupid, man.
Mummified ancient Egyptian remains should no longer be called mummies, as the term is outdated and dehumanizing, a leading museum has said. The museum said it.
Uh-huh.
I've been to a few museums in my life, and none of them talk to me, Jack.
Well, you're doing it wrong. They just don't like you.
This is in England. Don't they call their mom mummy?
Yes.
How in the fuck is it dehumanizing?
What is a mummy? What is a daddy?
This is fucking stupid.
Yeah.
This is
Wait till
really
you find
stupid.
out what they're replacing it with, because it's even stupider.
London's British Museum and National Museum Scotland no longer use the term, preferring mummified person or mummified remains as potential correct alternatives. Or sorry, as politically correct alternatives. That's not my fault. I was laughing and my eyes were closed. A National Museum Scotland spokesperson said, "Where we know the name of the individual, we use that. Otherwise, we use mummified man, woman, boy, girl, or person because we're referring to people, not objects."
But they're assuming
They're
the
dead people.
gender there.
They're old dead people. They've been dead a long time. They were mummified. Calling them a mummy. Fuck off.
That's almost verbatim what I said earlier today. They've been dead like
This is
1,000 years.
This is taking political correctness to the most asinine extreme.
Did you expect any less?
The word mummy is not incorrect, but it is dehumanizing. No, it's not. It's really not. We all know what the mummy is. If you can't describe it without using mummified, you're doing it wrong. Right? It's a fucking mummy. This is okay, I can't, Jack. That's fucking stupid. I'm sorry.
I win again.
That is fucking stupid. That is dumb on a level that my brain just can't take right now. I watched that Crowder interview.
I can actually top that. Let me see. I know somebody else tweeted this out. I don't have the article right in front of me, but I read an article from the Daily Mail about the shooting that took place in California in Montgomery, and they called it a magazine-loaded semi-automatic assault pistol.
Oh God, I saw that stupid shit.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't think I can show this video. My internet is being ass.
No worries.
We can talk about it though. Biden has asked Cuba, Nicaragua, Venezuela, and 6 other Latin nations to send their old Russian weapons to Ukraine in exchange for new U.S. military equipment. Sure, why not? There's a video that goes along with it, guys, but with the way my internet is acting, I'm not going to try a video because it would be so fucking choppy. So we're going to have South America send Russian weapons to. Correct me if I'm wrong here, Jack. Aren't places like Cuba, Venezuela, some other Latin American countries, as well as a big portion of South America now, run by commies?
Yes, but that's okay because most of our government seems to be leaning in that direction now anyway. And so how about we stop giving away our guns, like Randall said?
Yeah, we're going to give our good new equipment to them so that they can send old Russian hardware to the Ukrainians.
Yeah. Didn't Obama try something like this with Fast and Furious?
That I don't remember something like this with it. Well, I mean, kind of. This is more like well, anytime we've armed horrible dictators, we've done it before. It's kind of the same as arming that shitbag Zelensky himself.
Yeah.
This is going to come back and bite us in the ass.
Oh, 100%. Yeah. Hey, real quick. Thank you, Evolved Potato. Mummy in this context comes from an Arabic word which means embalmed body. It is the best word to use. Yes, the article points it out later, but by then you're so full of the stupidity of the whole situation that they don't seem to care. It's dehumanizing. Shut up. These people are long dead. There's no person there. That's a corpse. Corpses aren't people. They're dead bodies. And dead bodies are objects. I'm sorry.
In relation to the last one we talked about, Mess says Iran-Contra flashback. Kind of, yeah. I mean, it's similar. Yeah, this is fucking retarded. This is going to come back and bite us in the ass. We need to stop arming other people.
Yeah, well, like Faithful said, the cartels are going to get these weapons.
Yeah. Jesus Christ, man. All right. Well, that mummy story broke me, man.
Ah, good. Gotcha.
That's fucking retarded.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for coming and hanging out with us tonight. We love you. Hope you know that. Don't forget to hit your like button on the way out. Hit the Rumble button on the way out. Thank you for all the donations. You guys are so very kind to us, and we appreciate it more than we can tell you. And once again, thank you for the kindness to Little Butt. I cannot tell you how much I appreciate that. There aren't words. There just aren't words. Jack, anything you want to show?
Yeah, I'll drop some links to some videos, including the stream I did earlier today. That'll be the first link. As always, thank you so much for the donations. You guys are awesome. And we appreciate you coming out and watching, even when you disagree with us. Because it does mean a lot to us that people disagree and still come back to watch.
Oh, it really does. We have the best audience on the planet. I mean, it never devolves into like horrible shit. It's just, okay, we have an argument, and then we move on to the next thing, and everybody's, back and chatting and having fun again.
Yeah.
Until, there's a disagreement again. I love our audience. Go look around on YouTube, anywhere else, Twitch, anywhere else. And when there's an argument, see what happens. You guys are amazing, and I hope you all know that. I'll be over on twitch.tv/Ranting Monkey, hopefully, here in just a little bit. I really am tired, Jack. I'm fucking exhausted. But I'm going to try, you guys, at least get something out. Maybe I'll play Phasmo so it'll scare me and keep me awake. What day is this? This is Monday, right? Or, well, going into Tuesday, I think.
I don't know.
Dates right? Yeah, okay.
Yeah, it's Tuesday today. It's Monday going into Tuesday.
I'll be playing with myself.
Bet you will.
A little innuendo there for you guys. Thank you guys for hanging out. Jack, a pleasure as always.
Always glad to be here.
Guys, have a great one. We'll see y'all next time. Take care.
Bye, everybody.
I'm gonna go play with myself on video for you to watch. Why do I always end sentences with something I can't rhyme with?
I don't know.
Why do I do it? What rhymes with watch? Crotch. Oh, damn. That was a missed opportunity.
Butterscotch.
I'm gonna go play with myself on Twitch so you can watch. My hands will be on the keyboard and not in my crotch.